Welcome everybody to this week's Lean Lunch by Moves the Needle. Why don't the folks from Team Triumph go ahead and introduce yourselves real quick and let us know how we can help.
I'm Becca. Colleagues Alex Smith and Tuan Ha are also on the line, and we're interns at Intuit, and we're working on an unstructured time project right now. We have a question that has to do with trying to execute a lot of tests. We've been doing a ton of testing, but we've struggled with reaching tests that are valid for our target customer and not just testing kind of within our own network, and reaching kind of big enough tests that we can draw data and decide whether to pivot or persevere. We wanted to try to solve payday loans, those really high interest short-term loans that people will take out to try to get through to the end of the month, people who are low income or are living paycheck to paycheck and maybe their car breaks down, they don't have enough in their bank account. And right now there aren't a lot of other options if you don't have good credit to get money when you're in a financial crisis. And we thought it would be really great to try and leverage the power of the community in this situation. The whole community probably could come together and get people through their financial crises. And that's what sort of led us to our solution, which is HelpLow, a micro-lending platform to help you access funding from a community in a financial crisis. And so we've done a lot of testing around, are people willing to lend money to others that they're sort of tangentially connected to? And, are you willing to lend money to people in your network? We know that people want to borrow money when it's cheaper and easier to get. What we don't really know now is how to take those learnings from a big variety of communities and expand testing within our target customer group, so lower income people or people living paycheck to paycheck. This is not a customer group that we are necessarily in, so we're trying to understand, can we draw from tests that we've done within our personal network that we can take as learnings moving forward with our solution? How do we understand how to test a network-based solution when we're not in the networks of the target customers?
Basically, you're saying that all of the lightweight tests that you guys have run so far are not necessarily on the target customer segments that you're hoping the final product will be for. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, that's probably fair.
In your vision, are we borrowing from a community of people we know? Could it be a hybrid, people we know, people we don't know, or people associated in some particular way? What's your point of view on that?
One of the things that we were thinking about testing is, how do we define community? Is it something like an online network of friends? Is it geographic? Or is it something more specific, like a church group or a sports team? So that's one aspect of the problem that we haven't been able to test sufficiently, and one of the things that we were hoping to get coaching on today.
You might have different ideas out of this list of assumptions as to what that community has to be. Is that a fair way of paraphrasing how you were thinking about these aspects of the community?
That's pretty accurate. We've looked at our own Facebook friends. We've also run a test in San Jose using Nextdoor. We are running into difficulty because we aren't really in this target demographic that we're trying to solve a problem for. It's tough to sort of understand these people and reach out to them because we don't really understand the problem as well as we'd like to.
You hit on actually the key piece of information you guys need to move forward, which is understanding that customer, understanding them really well, right? So can you talk about where those folks are hanging out, where you might find them?
We spent some time actually at one of the payday loan establishments in Redwood City, basically just camping outside, kind of advertising a lower interest rate service just so we can get some traffic to come to talk to us to learn more about what. We didn't have a ton of data points together from that one experience, and so that's something we're working on.
For you guys as a team, the sooner you can get to actually having a single person that's in need that gets a loan from a community of people, as soon as you guys can get to actually doing that, the sooner you're going to start learning.
It feels most important to learn right now, and specifically for whom? And I understand you have a network effect with multiple edges, so there's kind of a person who needs the money, and there's a community that lends. What would you love to be able to learn from those two edges right now?
Sort of a two-sided problem. I think we have a better handle on the people who are willing to lend. That's what more of our tests have been around. What we really want to understand is how close do they need to feel to a person in order to kind of make that $5 or $10 and drop that in the bucket. And then on the borrower side, I think, is where we're struggling more. And we really want to understand what's driving them to take out these payday loans. What do these needs look like? And then is it a loan solution that's best for them? Like what about repayment? Are they going to feel uncomfortable if they can't repay, or if they fall into more financial trouble if they've taken out money from friends and neighbors? Or conversely, are they more likely to repay because they feel more of an affinity because it's people in their neighborhood or people from their church? We don't really know now because we haven't figured out the best way to test within that group.
yeah, you might need to intercept people in front of a payday loan. You know, you've already been pretty scrappy about that type of thing.
I'm going to take the contrarian view.
Thanks, Rick.
Actually, what Jeff and Aaron said is absolutely true. But when I say the contrarian view, what I heard was you don't know your customer well enough. To me, when you don't know your customer well enough, you need to have more customer empathy. The purpose of customer empathy to me is understanding their problems and what are they doing to solve those problems today. I think the risky assumption is that they will pay it back. I would go out and actually just have conversations with both of your target markets because they will give you the answers if you have conversations with them.
I think just opening up those conversations and getting that insight would be really helpful. And I think what we're struggling with, going out there and having conversations with them without necessarily doing an experiment on them, might be the best first step.
My personal belief is that having conversations is always the best first step. These conversations won't give you real proof, but they give you the information you need to create the experiment.
How are you feeling right now as a team? More passionate, less passionate? How's it working for you?
So I think that we have a more clear picture of where to go next. I really appreciate your time today. My gut reaction is that we need to go to a payday loan office and try to intercept customers that frequent those places and try to understand their problems more sincerely.
Started out really passionate. I think our whole team started out this summer, deciding we wanted to tackle a really big problem, and we're really passionate about this one. Yes, I'm definitely more passionate now. In terms of what we should do next, I agree with Alex. I think we should do some more customer research or customer conversations, or really spend some time in that market. The next best step is even like pre-MVP, the zero tech, bring a customer through the funnel, physically go out and go, how much money do you need to borrow, and then walk over to the people who can lend it and be like, how much money are you willing to lend, and really try to see, how that would work before ever trying to build it, create it.
Yeah, I'd have to echo both Becca and Alex's sentiments when it comes to being more passionate for this problem. In terms of next steps, actually reach out and get some customer empathy with the lenders.
To say something on a personal note to you guys, this team, I admire you guys for taking on such a big problem that will help millions of people. So kudos to you guys for having the courage to go after something really big.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all very much for your time, and thank you for joining us. Good luck on the project.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye-bye.